in the meantime, doctors still don't know what's wrong with me.
Connie, how did you find carnivore?
Yes, the question of the day. Well, it's kind of a story. So, a little background on me. I am somebody that likes to do things very naturally. I practice wellness, energy medicine. I'm an intuitive. That's what I do for a living. So I'm very careful about how I take care of myself. And up until 2021, the last time I had been anywhere near a doctor was 2011, and because I thought I had strep throat. So I'm not real big on doctors or Western medicine for the average things. Anyway, so in 2021, I noticed probably around May that I wasn't feeling really good. And I normally would go to reflexology or trigger point therapy or energy medicine and work on myself. And usually it always happened, I would be fine. But this felt different. And I knew it had something to do with my heart just by the way I was feeling. Anyway, so come June, I really was not feeling well. And to the point to where even I told a friend of mine, I think I have to go to the doctor. And their mouth flew open, because everyone knows me. But I ended up making an appointment and I went to the doctor, and it was a very hot day and we were still having to wear masks everywhere. And I was thirsty and it was hot. And of course, my heart rate was high because I was under stress. Plus, I had to go to the doctor and I didn't want to be there. Anyway, so I get in there and they take my blood pressure and it's stroke level. And my heart rate's like 120. And so I'm laughing because, well, you'll know in a minute. But anyway, I'm sitting there. I'm perfectly calm. I'm not sweating. I don't have a headache. I don't feel nauseous. And the doctor's like, "You're going to have a stroke. You have to go to the emergency room right now." And I said, I'm not having a stroke. I'm fine. It's just hot. I have to wear this mask. I'm thirsty. You won't give me water, blah. Anyway, so he talked me into going to the emergency room. They gave me all the tests that they do in the emergency room, blood, CT scan to see what's going on. And they all came back excellent. All my blood work was great, everything. And they're like, "You're the healthiest sick person I've ever seen." And that's hilarious. So what's wrong with my heart, and why is my blood pressure so high? We don't know. So anyway, that was one of many trips to the emergency room for me. And I was getting tired of it. And I was getting tired of no answers and having to go and sit there for hours as you have to in the emergency room. And it just was becoming very unfun. And so in the middle of all of that, I had also gained some weight during COVID, like a lot of people did. And I was already at the tippy top of where I should have been. And then I added more. And nothing I was doing was helping me lose weight. None of the things that I used to do. And I'm like, wow, what is going on with me? So my friend was into Weight Watchers, and I'm like, I don't want to count points. I'm already bored. I'm not doing it. So I found Dr. Eric Berg talking about keto. And I listened to it. And then from that, Dr. Ken Berry shows up. So I listened to him. And I'm like, keto, that's that Atkins thing, kind of thing. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, it's meat and vegetables. I like those things, and I honestly believed that I was not into carbs. It's hilarious now, but because I used to eat those organic Harvest Flakes cereals and, Dave's organic bread, for goodness sakes. That's healthy, right? Worst breakfast ever. Didn't realize that I was actually consuming nearly 70 grams in that one meal, and I wasn't done eating. So So me being me, I just dived right in. I'm like, okay, I'm getting rid of all the carbs. It's all gone. And, except for broccoli and zucchini, because I liked both of those, and meat. But I didn't know really how much to eat, I wasn't sure. So I did a lot more research on that. Meanwhile, several trips to the emergency room, even a couple of hospital stays, overnights. They can't figure out what's wrong with me. Heart rate was 140 crossing the room to go to the bathroom. Blood pressure 180 over 100, and, and I feel fine, by the way. When all of this is going on, I have no chest pains, not nausea, no sweating, no passing out, nothing. And I kept asking, could there be something? Is my heart just responding to something? Like when you get sick, your heart rate can go up, right? And I'm like, well, I'm sick right now. I've got something. They just said, no, it's got to be. They gave me genetic testing. It was insane. As a matter of fact, this is a funny story. They wanted me to wear a 30-day heart monitor to make sure I didn't have AFib because, that could kill you. So it was October of 21, middle of, the doctor wants to do that, get up there to order it. And it was middle of October. I couldn't get the monitor until December 13th. And then I'd have to wear it for 30 days. And then I'm sure it's going to take me another 30 days to get the results. And I'm thinking, and this is all to find out if I've got a condition that could kill me. I said, never mind. I took matters into my own hands. I got myself a Cardia mobile device, which is just this little device that's a at-home EKG, runs on an app on your phone, and you can send the results to your cardiologist. And I didn't have AFib. So around July, I started getting very serious with the keto, and I dropped 8 pounds in a week. And I started sleeping better, overall feeling better. And in the meantime, doctors still don't know what's wrong with me. So come March of 22, I got another echocardiogram. The first one told me my ejection fraction was 37, which isn't good. So I got another one, and now it's 50. And they're like, well, that's darn near normal, How's that happening? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing my keto. Oh, you can't do that. Keto is not healthy. It's not balanced. You need to add, you need your fruits and vegetables. And I said, well, I'm eating some vegetables. But by then I was getting tired of the vegetables and really enjoying more of the meat. And I even got a calcification score test. And that's when I just turned 60. And I said, isn't 0 the magic number for that? And they said, yeah, but you're 60. You're going to have some. Don't be disappointed. Everyone does. Yeah, well, mine was. And I had been doing keto and moving towards carnivore for 7-8 months. So I don't have any idea what my cholesterol is at the moment. It was fine when I started the whole process. So I'm not concerned about it too much. But anyway, that's how I found it, was going through some health issues, realizing that, what I was eating, even though I don't eat a lot of sweets. Actually, I don't eat any. If there was bread in a cheese buffet versus a, cupcakes and candy buffet, I'd be at the bread and cheese. I love bread. So pizza was my, go-to. Anyway, the best part of the whole thing is that I reversed my heart failure completely. And the doctors have no idea how, but I found out some things on my own. One of the tests that I got, the calcification score test, discovered that I have a hiatal hernia. So I did research on that. And a hiatal hernia is basically part of your stomach's going into your esophagus, and your stomach is right underneath your heart. And your heart, and the stomach is pushing up on your heart, making your heart rate go up. And I mean, I did a ton of research on this. So I go to my chiropractor and I said, Dave, I think I have a hiatal hernia. Can you tell it for sure? And he, yes, you do. And so between him, I see him once a week. And then what I do at home, I've kept that all at bay. My heart is fine. It doesn't race. I mean, everybody's heart rate goes up, but mine, it's pretty much leveled out. My blood pressure is leveled out. And I really do attribute it so much to diet, exercise, and just the mindfulness that, you can take care of your body. You can help, you can heal your body from practically anything. I mean, I realize there's some things, and I realize doctors have their place. If my appendix burst, I'm not going to my chiropractor, because that would make no sense. but, and I'm grateful for those people when they're needed. But unfortunately, it really is, they call it medicine of practice. And we're the test case. That's how it felt to me. All of those tests, all of it saying I'm fine. I've never had even the blood test that determines heart failure, it never said I had heart failure. And I kept asking the doctor that, why is this number so low if I'm in heart failure? Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm in heart failure like you think I am. Anyway, so I took my power back, and because it's scary when it's your heart, because you're like, oh my gosh, that's the whole thing that runs the engine there. And but yeah, I overcame it, and I'm happy to be here. I'm going to be 63 and on the 15th, and I'm rocking.
Nice. So how long has it been where you've been pretty much carnivore? Like, has that been a period of months or?
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm going on a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, cool. Um, and yeah, it does seem from so many people I've spoken to, and it's all doctors, but especially when it relates to cardiology, they seem very fixed on just like, if it's this, do this. If it's that, we have to check this. If it's this, this is the advice I give. It's a very kind of like flow chart, kind of step one, step two, step three. There's no room for like listening, asking questions, going, hang on, this doesn't seem right. Let's do some other test. There's none of that.
No, and what was interesting in my case, and I'm sure that there are good cardiologists out there. I'm positive there are. I didn't personally meet any of them. Okay, so and I'm sure they're lovely people, but they didn't help me. And honestly, Dr. Sanjay Gupta from York Cardiology, his videos on YouTube helped me 1,000 times more. I got so much more information. But the thing is that so in January of 23, they finally released me as a heart patient because I'm not a heart patient anymore. However, the doctor says to me, I do want you to see a rheumatologist. And I said, because he goes, well, I think you have lupus. And what? I said, I don't have lupus. I mean, that's a physical, you can see certain symptoms and you would experience certain things. And he said, well, because you have a weak heart. I said, you just released me. I said, is there a boat you need to buy? What is the matter? I am not going down this rabbit hole going to a rheumatologist. I'm not doing it. And I never did. And of course, now it's 2025 and I don't have lupus. So
Yeah, it's very strange. When you think about every other area of the business world or any other kind of work, people
yeah,
just don't act this way. It's very strange.
it is.
Um,
It is.
yeah. So, like, it's been a year and a half. You've resolved these issues around your heart.
Mhm.
Um, have you noticed any other changes along the way?
Well, like so many people say, I have great energy, no brain fog. Even if I don't get any sleep, like sometimes I still struggle with sleep. Um, I still have the energy, and everything works great. And I've heard that a lot of people don't even need as much sleep when they're on carnivore. And I think maybe that's my case. At 4 or 5 hours, and I'm up and ready to go. But the thing is that, yeah, and I haven't gained 1 pound back. I've just maintained the weight that I lost, which was about 30 pounds. So it was a decent amount of weight, and I don't weigh myself. I don't believe in that. I just know my clothes fit, and everything looks fine. So I would say that those are the main things: just the general feeling better, the energy, and just, I don't know, I just feel kind of empowered by it.
Nice. And what does the menu look like for you during the day?
So I still do enjoy my avocados. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% carnivore, but usually in the morning I have a half a pound of hamburger, and and I do enjoy some mozzarella cheese. So I have some bacon, burger, avocado, and mozzarella cheese in a bowl, and that's my breakfast. And then I usually try to have at least a half a pound or so of steak or chicken or something along those lines. Mostly it's steak, though, and that's pretty much all I eat.
And how have people around you reacted to this way of eating? Do people kind of look at you like you're strange?
I have really great friends, very open-minded. As a matter of fact, I've converted a couple of them to help them with their issues too. But no, I mean, I was dating a guy that said, "Really?" Because he goes, "Let's go get tacos," and I said, "I don't eat tacos. I can eat the stuff in there, but I'm not going to eat the taco shell." And ugh. So yeah, but you work around it. Every restaurant has burgers, steaks, pretty much. So that's just, I don't worry about what people think. I never have. I eat in restaurants alone all the time. People are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm perfect. Just reading my book, eating. I'm good.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that social aspect of eating because it's quite normal to go to a restaurant in Japan on your own and eat. I'd forgotten in Australia, like when I was in my 20s, I'd go out. If I went out for dinner on my own, I'd always have this kind of. I'd be a little bit self-conscious, because I'm like
Really?
looking at all the couples around me or all the groups or whatever, and it's like I'm on my own. But yeah, I forget that because it's just normal here.
Well, it's for me because I was an only child, and I kind of just, if I want to go out to eat and nobody can come with me, I'm still going to go. And I have the habit of, I get to know the bartender, I get to know the waitress or the waiter. I know their names. Pretty soon I know everything about their family. I'm the same way at the grocery store. I know everybody there. Um, that's just my nature. I don't feel, I've never felt self-conscious doing it. Never even thought about it, honestly, because I'm like, I just want to read a book and get a meal and maybe a glass of wine if I feel like it.
So, whereabouts do you live in the US?
I'm in Tacoma, Washington.
Well, and how is the availability of beef there? Is it pretty cheap? Easy to get?
It's easy to get. Certain grocery stores have really great prices. There's one store. It's called Grocery Outlet, and it's a privately owned store. And they get New York strip steaks, two in a package for $8.99, so a half pound each. So that's perfect. And then there's a couple of other stores, kind of the similar thing. Yeah, it's not hard. But, sometimes you do have to look for a good sale. And Costco usually has meat at a good price.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, at this point in your journey, you can't see yourself going back?
No, I mean, people ask me that all the time. And why? Honestly, I heard somebody say a while ago, food is medicine, it's not entertainment. And I really have adapted to that belief. I can't say that I am perfect 24/7, 7 days a week. Sometimes I want a baked potato, and sometimes I have one. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to have one tonight with my friend. Anyway, but the thing is that I don't eat like that every day. I don't worry about it. It doesn't affect me. Like Dr. Barry says, eat something, bring it back in. And if it doesn't affect you, it's okay, but that's a lot of carbs and I wouldn't do that every day. So the funny thing about when I started this journey, though, it was very difficult for me to figure out how to eat because breakfast was always cereal and toast, literally the worst breakfast you can eat. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know what am I going to eat, And I like eggs, but I don't love eggs. So it's like, I don't want to eat eggs every day. And that's when I thought, well, I guess it's hamburger, and I really like savory versus sweet anyway. So it was not, after I got that worked out, it was fine.
Yeah, you mentioned the medicine versus the entertainment. I think a lot of us, I mean, probably nearly 100% of carnivores make that kind of transition in thinking about food. And it's like, it just opens the world up so much for you because you're suddenly not feeling like you have to like, oh, I'm doing something, but I don't feel fulfilled because I haven't got food or a snack to go with it,
Right.
There's none of that anymore. It's just like you eat, you're done, you get on with your day. So you become much more productive, you enjoy what you're doing more. It's just so much nicer.
Oh my gosh, yes. Before I thought about food honestly all the time. And I was not ever like hugely overweight or anything, but because you eat such all this carbs for breakfast, in 2 hours you're hungry again. And it's like it's a time waster. You're constantly, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? And I see clients and I have to like eat before I see them, and it's ridiculous. So anyway, now, I mean, I can go 16 hours easily between meals, and I eat twice a day. And that works better for me because I don't feel like I can get all the protein I need in one meal. I don't think I could do it. So, and that's, to me, that's super important, and to get the right amount of fat too. So I really focus on that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's interesting you talk about the carbohydrates because we've got this mindset that anything we can put in our mouth is food. Like, and
Yes.
so it's like you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so hungry. Let me eat some food that's going to make me even hungrier. It's crazy, right?
It's so crazy. And I mean, honestly, I'm not even hungry. When I get up, the thought of eating is like, oh, I can't even do it, and sometimes I'll see clients and they'd eat after. I used to have this mindset that I needed to eat and have to be of service and to do good work. No, you can still do great work. Yeah, my stomach might, gurgle a little because it's like, hey, but I'm like, I don't have time to feed you right now. You'll be fine. I'll eat a piece of butter sometimes, and that tides me over.
Nice. So you mentioned you've got some friends that you've convinced to give it a try.
Yeah.
How did you convince them? Was it just kind of saying, "Look at my results," or?
I convinced probably isn't the right word, but they noticed, how good I'm doing. They were with me through the journey of the heart failure. They were all there. And then they saw that I lost weight and that I kept it off. And that, aside from an occasional cold, I don't get sick, you know, and that matters, and I started like, I live in an upstairs apartment. And so I call it walking my stairs, and I do it for 10 minutes every day. And, because the old women, when they get older, their lower body gets weaker. It tends to happen, but I haven't noticed any weakness because I'm eating meat. I don't even work out with my arms, and my arms look lean and fit. So, it's kind of cool.
Nice. So Connie, how can people reach out to you? Do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Connie Jacqueline Rose. I have my website, which is Connie Rose Knows, and that's KNOWS.com. I am an intuitive, so that's how I make my living, and I can do readings anywhere.
Nice. Well, I'll link to those in the show notes below.
Thank you.
Connie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. I really
Oh,
appreciate your time.
it was wonderful. It's good to talk to you.